welcome to RVR Closet. So, thought I could do a small review here of the DSD, Derek Spears Designs button boxes for the Club Sport wheelbase. Yeah, they are connected with 2 screws on the wheelbase for each button box. And I did add a few washers just to give some extra support due to that it's only 2 screws. There is a bit of flex, as you can see if I move it out on the side here. And when pressing there is a bit of flex, but not really that much, and it doesn't really affect the usage of them. And when I press the buttons, I usually always lay my hand over and press with my thumb for some support. I'm not sure why, I just do it like a reflex. And then there is no issues at all to manage the buttons and switches. For this layout with the 2 safety switches on it, it's 24 functions. Those toggle switches up here has 2 for every, and there is 1 for every button, and then a 2-way rotary encoders. And on this one I chose with also 2 safety switches and the starter button. And for this one it's 21 functions, so due to the bigger button you lose a few rotary encoders and also functions. But yeah, I really like to have this as a starter button. This one is a bit so it can spin around. It's the same with, I have another DSD box. So that's the only issue with that one, but yeah, that can irritate me a bit, and I want to have it like the DSD, so that comes lined up, so I have to fiddle with it every now and then. Otherwise, the button itself has become more snappier. They have made a change for this one. It was more spongy on the earlier models. So that's a step up or plus for the new LED button or starter button, or whatever you want to call it. The button box itself is a bit raised from the mount and has a carbon fiber look. They are connected with the USB-A and goes to a USB-B into the PC. Buttons, switches and rotaries have a good feel to them, and the rotary encoders really have a tactile feel, so you really feel whenever you change the rotary encoders. I also like those safety switches, and they also have just 1 function. The downward function doesn't do anything. So for each of those you have 1 function, and then you can cover them. So I have like ignition, exit, pit limiter, yeah, and then just put in lights for it as well, so you don't accidentally press like the pit limiter, ignition or exit while racing. The build quality is good on those boxes as well. As I shown, I also have another box here and have had no issues with it. I've had that for, what is it, must be a few years or so. One thing I actually did have a bit of a fiddle with was to map those. I'm using Joy2Key, and they are all labeled in the control panel as DSD P-Series controller, and for everyone it says the same. And that was a bit of a fiddle when I already had this mapped with a lot of functions for OBS, so I didn't want to do that all again, and finding the right one in Joy2Key was a bit of a fiddle, because they just come up in a list of the controllers Joy2Key can find. So that was a bit of a fiddle. Otherwise it's just a plug and play, and they get recognized. Not really much more to say. Looks really good and works great, feels good, and also really handy to have them really close like this on the wheelbase. And also I can glance down my VR. I've taken away this nose piece on my Rift S, and that way I can actually glance down if I need to see where or what button I'm about to press, so just in the right spot or angle for that. So yeah, really good and handy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye. Whispering ghosts are hiding